Happy Wednesday. I hope you're doing well today. So the title of my video today is Unpopular Opinion Alert, Reject the Diet Mentality. So this should be fun. So if you guys are watching with me live this morning, please say hello. And then if you're watching on the replay, just hashtag replay, and I'll make sure I come back on later and say hi to you then. So before we get started, you guys, a couple little housekeeping items. If you guys are watching this on Facebook this morning, I would invite you to head on over to YouTube and either type in my first and last name or head on to the link in the description of this video and hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications for each time that I come live, which is typically Monday to Friday around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I would love to have you in there. And then before we get started, also, if you are not in my free community yet, it is called Imperfectly Perfect You, helping women to find self-love at any size through many different holistic and mystic approaches that has created my self-love at any size method. So I would love to help you in your journey to self-love, self-acceptance, and self-respect. And we do so by lots of different fun challenges and community and conversation. And we would love to have you within that community and welcome you into that space. So if that interests you, just follow the link in the description of the video as well. So, unpopular opinion alert, especially this time of year, because I don't know about you guys, but my feed is flooded with like diets and pills and all the things that represent diet culture, which is something that I have kind of gone away from in the last couple years. And that has also inspired me to take my intuitive eating facilitator training, which I am in the process of doing. So you guys will notice and let me know in the comments if you see all those kind of ads in your feeds, your social media feeds right now as well. So we see diet mentality or diet culture in the news and social media, in gyms and yoga studios, grocery stores, restaurants. And sadly, we see the diet mentality among friends and family members and in some healthcare professions, right? So sometimes the diet message is super loud. Diets like keto and Whole30 and all these different ones. But many times it's just sneaky and disguised as healthy lifestyle changes or even labeling intuitive eating for weight loss. And so the thing I want to kind of make sure that you guys know about first is that intuitive eating is not a weight loss diet. So when we kind of go back to the whole diet mentality piece, we really need to look at what diet mentality is and why it is harmful. So diet mentality is that false belief that diets for weight loss create health and happiness. And I believed this for so many years that the only way I could be happy is if I lost weight. And I did so. I had to prove to myself that theory didn't work because I went on a weight loss journey, losing 80 pounds or more. And I felt just as unhappy. I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I was like, hey, this isn't okay. I hated myself just as much as I did 80 pounds heavier. And so I knew something had to change. So my journey has led me to intuitive eating, and I am so grateful for that. Because when we talk about creating health and happiness, the diet mentality kind of steals your joy by kind of saying that you should delay your dreams until you have lost the weight. So it's pretty much confirming with you that, oh, I can't wear a swimsuit until I lose weight. I can't go on that ride until I lose weight. I can't, do this as a career until I lose weight. I can't take a yoga class until I lose weight. All these crazy things that we are really told and shown through the diet culture, and it really has destroyed our own connection to our body. And so leading to that, it does, like, that's something that I have learned, especially through my yoga practice, is that my yoga practice allowed me to connect back to my body. And so diet mentality does the opposite. It disconnects you from your own body sensations. So it pretty much tells you that you cannot be trusted to make decisions about how to feed yourself, that you cannot trust your own body to tell you that. And it's crazy that we give so much power and to diet culture of they need to tell us what to do because we would never know because we're going to mess it up and we're going to eat too much. Intuitive eating really allows you to come back to listening to your body. It connects you back to your body. And I'm not saying it's easy. I am still working through the process myself, and it is hard. And I catch myself saying phrases all the time that I kind of like, oh no, you can't say that anymore. Especially the whole like good food, bad food mentality, which is a whole nother topic. But I catch myself still doing that of like, oh, I shouldn't eat that. That's bad. And it's like, intuitive eating teaches you to learn that no food is good or bad. If your body needs it, then that's what you're going to do. But like, I know there is so much hate for intuitive eating out there too, of like, oh, you're just giving up. Which isn't the case. Once you start to learn the process and start to see your own transformation within yourself, and really the connection back to your body is pretty amazing. So when we're talking about that, diet mentality really, or diet culture, I want you guys to think about it as like kind of that mean voice that you hear over and over and over again, which, like I've already kind of mentioned, which categorizes food into good, bad, healthy, unhealthy. It's that voice that tells you those ridiculous rules, like no eating after 7 p.m., no carbs after lunch, no dessert because you didn't exercise. There's all these rules that diet culture and diet mentality put into place for us that are ridiculous. And they're that mean voice that really is stuck in all of our minds because we have heard it for so long and we think it's the right way. So many people think that this mean voice is kind of, it has more to do with control. Rather, this voice acts kind of like a bully that keeps you from living your fullest life, because it's pretty much telling you if you are a larger person or you're a certain size, you're not worthy of any of those things until you lose the weight. You're not worthy of love. You're not worthy of affection. You're not worthy of, doing fun things. You're not worthy of pursuing a certain career because of your size. It's not okay. It's bullying, right? Diet culture and diet mentality is really the bullying. The bullying aspect, I think, is what I really started to realize, and kind of made me over it. So the cool part is that society is starting to shift views and finally learning that diets don't work. Like intuitive eating has had over, I think it's like over 150 different research studies done on it, on the effectiveness of it and the science behind that it does work, right? It does help you create that healthy relationship with food, which is what we all really are aiming for, right? So we know that diets fail most of the time, and dieting is like a leading predictor of weight gain, which is crazy to think about, right? But many people have trouble letting go of the diet mentality because they don't know what to think or do instead. They think that is the only way to be healthy, that is the only way to be happy, and they just don't know. And it's a very hard behavior to change is the really big trigger too. I did an exercise within my communities a while back that we talked about how, writing your name with your left hand or your dominant hand and then writing it with your non-dominant hand. And you really have to think about intuitive eating as a process where you are always writing with your non-dominant hand. It is not going to feel nice. It is going to feel horrible. You're going to feel like it's messy and it's never going to get better. But we really have to realize that it's a hard process to change our behavior, and no one should feel ashamed if they need support with that too. The very first step in intuitive eating is what I'm talking about today, which is rejecting the diet mentality. And it's really one of the main core 10 principles that you learn about when you start to take that journey. Oh, I see someone on here saying hello. Hello, Facebook user. Hi. What I wanted to share with you guys is 5 ideas to start to reject the diet mentality. And I know this is an unpopular opinion, and especially this time of year, because with the diets all around us and New Year's resolutions and all these things that we usually do, this is just here to help you to think or to know that there is a different way, right? Oh, hey, Kelly, it's you. In the private groups, it won't let us see the names, at least in my software. So thank you for saying it's you, Kelly. Hello. So I wanted to share with you guys 5 ideas to start to reject the diet mentality. So the first thing is to start doing something today something you've been wanting to do, whether, I don't know, anything that you want to do that you feel you're being held back from because of your weight or your size. I want you to do that thing today. Don't save that thing for when you change your body, your shape, or your size. I did that for so many years. And once I learned I could do things regardless of my size and my weight, life changed for me in such a positive way. So, I took my first yoga class, and now I've been teaching yoga for the last 8 years. I went to Disneyland and went on rides with my kids. I was a plus size person. I did just fine. So that's my first kind of like challenge for you guys, is to really start doing something that you typically wouldn't, stepping out of those comfort zones. That is where the growth happens. And then number 2 is to think about your favorite foods. And this one can be hard. And just when you're thinking about your favorite foods, or even when you're eating your favorite foods, repeat over and over, there are no good foods or bad foods. Make sure you eat at least one of these favorite foods or meals or snacks this week. So, take that moment. Like if you love, I don't know, let's say you love potato chips. While you're eating those potato chips, say there are no good foods or bad foods. And I think I love the phrase of like, food has nutritional value, yes, but food doesn't have a moral value. The potato chip isn't actually a bad potato chip, right? And I know, and that's something I still overcome and I still catch myself doing. But, it's listening to your body. It's connecting to your body. And no, you're not going to sit there and eat potato chips and all day long, because your body's going to get really tired of that. But it's just really making sure that you start to eat those foods that you have been triggered by in the past of being bad foods, and just reminding yourself that there are no good foods and bad foods. So I think that's super interesting. Food doesn't have a moral value. That's awesome. I know. When I heard someone else say that, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Like we treat it like they do. We treat that our foods do have moral value, which is hilarious, right? So our third tip for starting to reject the diet mentality is to not weigh yourself today, or all week, or all month, or even all year. The scale does not define your health. And that is something that I also had to learn the hard way. I was a chronic scale person. It dictated how my day went. It dictated how much food I fed my body. I would starve my body if the number was a certain number when I woke up in the morning. So I would challenge you guys to just start to not weigh yourself as much. And I know it's going to be a change. Changing that behavior is hard, and it's not going to be easy, and it's going to take time. But we have to realize that our scale does not define our health. And so when we move into our next kind of way that we can start to do this process, we need to unfollow anyone that posts unrealistic, unhelpful health messages on social media. So you don't need to get stuck in the comparison trap, because comparing yourself to others can be super toxic, and it can result in you feeling bad about yourself, that inner voice becoming louder, that critical voice. It can become depression, it can become anxiety, it can become binge eating. Like there's so many things that can lead up to unhealthy behavior based upon just having being surrounded by that toxic message, right? And then the last thing that we can talk about when we are learning to reject the diet mentality is to realize that you are so much more than your weight or your body shape or your size. You are so much more. I want you to take a moment today or this week to list your values and what makes you special and what makes you you. And don't be afraid to take up space in this world, right? We deserve happiness and health as human beings, no matter what size we are, no matter what shape we are, and I think the sooner that the world figures that out, there will be so much less hate, and there will be so much more love, like so much more self-love, which is clearly one of my big important missions, is to help people really see the value in themselves and what makes them special, what makes them them, right? What makes you you. and to not take up space, to shine that light, to be exactly who you were meant to be, and unapologetically, right? Like just really authentically showing up as yourself, which is exactly what I wish for you this year in 2022. So that was what I wanted to chat to you guys about today. I love intuitive eating, and it's become such a cool part of my learning and my growth. And I can't wait to share more with you guys as I learn more and as I become a facilitator. It's going to be so much fun, and I hope that we can just really start to reject the diet mentality in 2022 and just start taking care of our bodies, right? Like taking care of all the areas of ourselves, not just one. And that's the thing that I love about what I do is I really take the approach of living a balanced life. So yes, we're going to take care of our physical health. We're going to move our bodies. We're going to, listen to our bodies in our eating to nurture our bodies, but we're also going to take care of all the other areas, like our mental health, our spiritual health, our emotional health, our practical and personal health, like all these different areas, right? So I love that what I'm doing. So I hope it shows, and I hope it's helpful for you guys. So that's all I wanted to chat to you guys about today. Before I pop out of here, a couple quick things. Oh, what should I talk about? I will say this. I have a Mystic Goal Planner. I know this time of year is a really big time of year for setting Mystic goals. I have 2 different versions of this. I have a free little download that you can access for free by just following the link I think it's in the description of the video. And that will give you the little 4-page guide that kind of helps you to really start to create a Mystic goal, which is my version of like a SMART goal that just adds a little bit of magic and sparkle to it to help you set goals in 2022. So there's a free download, but you can also get my journal. I have a 90-day Find Your Magic journal, Mystic journal, and daily planner or daily journal. So that one, I think I have to put the link in that one. I don't know if I have that one in here. So I will put it in the comments after. Or if you just want to message me and say, hey, where's the link to the journal, lady? That would work too. And then I do want to mention to you guys that we are going full force with the Self-Love Revolution with Martina. This program is helping women to take those brave leaps towards self-love at any size through many of my different holistic and mystic approaches and my self-love at any size method. So this is a coaching program that has me as your coach for life and has access to my online program for life and includes all sorts of amazing things and amazing people that are here to just really support you through your self-love journeys. So, if that sounds interesting to you at all, this program has many different payment options as little as $27 a month. So it's like almost, it's around the same price as a Netflix subscription, which why not take care of yourself and your personal growth and your personal, take care of yourself this year. And, that's going to be reflected in all your family and your kids too. So not only are you investing in yourself, you're investing in your kids, your husband, really, when you start to think about it, because they're going to benefit from your own growth as well, because we are kind of the captains of our ships in our homes. And when we start to love ourselves a little bit more, then that's going to be reflected in everything else we do. So if you need more information, just either message me the word self-love, or you can follow the link in the description and check it out if you feel like you want to be a part of that community. We would love to have you in there. So that is all I had for you guys this morning. I hope this was helpful, and let me know if this was an unpopular opinion. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So we'll talk to you guys soon.